Hello, Divine Ones. This is Ashley for FD1111 Ministries. This is the reading for the new moon in Sagittarius, happening on November 26, 2019. This will bring opportunities to overcome difficulties, enemies, and to gain new opportunities, wealth, success, and promotions. But this is highlighted by the 𝘗𝘠𝘌 constellation, which is Arabic for the scorpion. This star brings success, wealth, and all of the aforementioned, but after great oppression. So these energies can be pretty intense with the sun quincux Uranus, with the new moon conjunct Scorpio, opposite and Mars opposing Uranus. So this can bring out a lot of aggression, tension, and anxiousness. So we're going to dive into these energies. I do encourage you to check out the 2020 angel forecast for all 12 signs, as well as the other links in the description box. I will do a continual of this reading over on the Patreon membership portal. That link will be down below. So let me see where the Divine Spirit would like for me to start. But first of all, let me just say that I am a spirit-led reader, meaning that I use these cards, spirit animals, numbers, angels, etc. to convey the messages that the Divine Spirit has for the collective. And I'm obligated to give all of the messages, including singular channeled messages for singular individuals or several waves of the collective. Okay, so this is the focal energy for right now. Compassion. This feels very strongly associated with the Sagittarius new moon right now, as though something is unfolding out here. We have caring, empathy, acceptance, and gentleness. So this is a call to action for empathizing with others' viewpoints, as well as their situations, with their viewpoints on their different aspects of your life, as well as their own life. So someone could be in the judgmental type of energy, the judgmental type of attitude. They could be anxious about their own shortcomings, I specifically here, and so therefore they want to point out others' shortcomings to make themselves feel better. We do have the two cards represented by the Sagittarius type of energy. Right now, I feel like that this is a great time to author something new. So you're being tested right now, and this is like, I hear a setup. And what I specifically see, I see someone playing on a team, and I see two star players, and they set each other up. And what I see, the sport that I see is basketball. So one player will set the other player up so they can make the basket and score the points for the team. But the team as a collective wins. So a lot of responsibility may rest upon certain individuals' shoulders. Now look at the timer, because I had to stop the video, and it was 2:22 once again. So someone could be stepping into some type of coaching position, and that could be a singular channel message, or that could be a message for the overall tone of certain individuals. Okay, give me a second. All right, so we have conclusions. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So we do have a eclipse coming up on December 26th, I believe it is, and that is going to be the last eclipse of the year. So something could be coming full circle and manifesting during this eclipse, something that is being placed now in the forefront. I hear the seeds that are being planted right now, the seeds that are being planted will actually come forth on the eclipse in December. Okay, give me a second. It's something else. So let me see where I shall go from here. I'm gonna pull a couple other cards. So someone is, I hear stalemate or cellmate. So with that being said, someone could be about to be released. So that did come through in a reading just recently. These are too many cards right here. But where someone was actually, they were framed, or either, I don't remember the exact details of the reading, but I do remember that someone was getting released out of being incarcerated, like someone's loved one, or either them themselves were being released, and they will be, I hear, vindicated. So that's just a singular channel message. But with this stalemate, like it's this refusal to move. It's almost like stubbornness right here. And I hear, for some reason, I hear wedgie, like something is wedged within a crack, and they're like almost stuck, if you will, with this type of energy right here. But what will happen around this eclipse is that the things will start to shift and change here with this Wheel of Fortune. Another thing we have here, this could be a masculine refusing to make the shift, make the turn. That could also be someone refusing to call someone as well. And then we have a feminine here where she's refusing to see her fault in some type of situation. But once again, it seems like things will be turned around, that she will realize that, you know, it takes two to tango, if you will. Okay, so let's see what these cards are here. We have, this all feels like movement. As soon as I did the cards up like this, I heard the word movement right here. And I hear 2020. So that could be on this precipice of the 2020 access. I hear the 2020 opening, which is like the new year. It also could mean, like with this movement in 2020, it's like seeing things from a different standpoint. You know, with the Two of Swords in reverse, seeing things completely from a different standpoint. All right, it's something else that's coming through, some type of communication. And I also hear the word incubation. So being with this stalemate, this cellmate type of energy, regardless of what the situation is, it's like someone was almost like in a nest in an incubated type of situation where they were being harnessed and protected. They were being nurtured in this situation. And that was so that way they can become strong enough to handle what is going on. So someone could have been living with another individual. Someone could have been it could have been a hospital. It could have been in some type of layaway place. And that layaway place is like that they didn't have the responsibilities of taking care of household goods or items or bills or something like that. And they sort of had like a freedom card, I hear. And with that freedom card, they were able to focus on what they're supposed to be focusing on, which is the structure of their life. They were able to lay away a root, I hear. And those roots are starting to, I hear, fizzle. They're starting to grow. And that fizzle is sparks. It's like I see sparks flying everywhere. It's almost like a welder. And a welder that's putting two different pieces of metal together and they're welding it. And that weld is permanent. So whatever that this person or these people have put together, like the spiritual and the physical, that it will be concrete and it will last. It won't shake away, I hear. It won't move away. It's in place. Here we have the King of Swords, and then we have like the Two of Swords with a feminine. But we also have like a dog. And this dog is talking about loyalty. And both individuals were refusing this type of relationship and allowing themselves to partake in this relationship. So it was like a covenant. And I made reference to this many times before, especially in the beginning of the year, about the divine covenant. And so the Trinity template, where you have the feminine and the masculine and the divine spirit that connects them together and keeps them together. And that covenant is like a marriage. And so the marriage between oneself and the spirit, and the marriage with the two. So we do have the two birds in the background. And for those that have been with me for a while, with this ministry for a while, that we know about the number 12, and we know about with the birds, and how the birds, they come together and they move as one unit. And we're talking about the twins and the divine partners that come together. And it's a lot of twos that are going on in this whole sequence. Specifically, I hear the word sequence, like an unfolding of events, almost like a movie. That also came through in another one of the 2020 readings about a showcase, or someone is screening a movie or commercial. They're building something that has to do with production of some sorts. And someone could be working on a script, writing a script, scripting it out, like tearing away pages, if you will. So they have written the format of the script, and then they're starting to tear away some of the pages, cut out some of the scenes, and they're starting to lay it all out. And I hear the shoot date. The shoot date is coming in February. I hear, for whoever that may be, I hear, hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. It's something else went in and out really quick. Sometimes it comes like really, really quickly. So let me see what is the guiding angelic force of this Sagittarius new moon. Divine Spirit. Thank you. On the Patreon membership page, I posted my sigil for Archangel Raphael, the Lord of Abundance and Wealth, and as well, the Gatekeeper of Wisdom. You can check that out. I will have that link down below. So we have prioritize Archangel Metatron. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. Okay, so I feel like this is really cutting to what you really want out of life and not settling. So this feels all like not settling. Actually, all this entire energy right here feels like not settling. And certain things didn't work out because of the fact that you knew deep down you didn't want to settle for that. That really would have made you feel bad if you had to settle for certain things. So that's the reason why your spirit guides, your angelic presences around you, they shielded you from that. And so you may have been disappointed at first, but then you realize like, well, you know what? I really didn't want that situation anyways. Then you have passion, the Phoenix, okay? Archangel Hanael, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. All right. And I've been talking about the spiritual businesses. I wanted to say something. I also wanted to say it was a whole lot of words that were coming to mind about these individuals that are stepping into this new form of abundance. I hear this free flowing. I see a spindle, not really a spindle. What is that? Like a water wheel where the water propels the wheel, but the water is constantly flowing because it's like a stream that causes the wheel to flow. So that stream never runs dry. It's like the stream that is mentioned in the book of Psalms, you know, as a deer pants for water, so do I for you, God, for you, the Christ, for you, Divine Spirit. And with that panting for water and that stream of consciousness, that stream of passion that led you on this journey that you did not know how it was going to play, okay, how it was going to play out. You see that stream back there? But she or he still did it anyway. They still went on this journey. And this right now feels like the Fool card. They didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but they just knew that they were being led. And they stepped out on faith, blinded. You know, faith is for those that see something that most cannot see. And so when they did that, they now will have that stream, that flow of money, that flow of cash. And it's not all about just, you know, money, but it goes hand in hand. I actually just recorded a podcast. I have to post it on the engagement, okay, on the podcast, Feeling the Flame. So you can check that out on iTunes, Spotify, all that. But I should have it up by next week. But it's about money and the misconception about money and the flow of money, energy, currency, all of that. If you are giving a service, and yes, ministry is a service. It's no different than when you go to sit down in a restaurant to eat. You expect to pay for your meal. You have to pay for your spiritual meal. And it can come in more than one way. Okay, so as a side note for those that are providing spiritual services, that even if you give away a lot of free, what you would call giving away free services, you are always being paid back because of your obedience, that the Divine Spirit will provide something for you, even if it may not come through that same avenue, if you will. So for example, I do free readings. Sometimes I do free prayers, and mentioning of that, the free prayers listed down below. You can check that link out there. And then out of nowhere, like a check will appear out of nowhere. You know, I will find money or donations will come through or something like that. And it's by being obedient. And so that's a side note for those that are, struggling with their finances, and they feel like they have to compromise between their passion, which is the flow of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Christos energy that's coming through and that's leading and guiding them. Look at how this person is propelled forward, how this person is propelled forward, how that person is leaning forward. They're all being led somewhere. Okay. All right. And that stream is also going that way. And that stream will never go dry. Okay. As long as you're doing what you were led by the Spirit to do, you will never go thirsty. All right. Okay, so moving on to specifically the moment, I hear the moment that the eyes met, the divine partner, okay? And with the divine partner, we're talking about engagement, we're talking about forgiving and learning. That's what's going on right now. And with this eclipse, time cycles, we're more so talking about cycles. So a few of my clients, they have came into divine union, or at least they have started to, chit chat with their divine partner, and they're really taking things slow, which is good. I'm so thankful and so grateful for them continuing on, although they did not know what was going to happen. They just knew that the Spirit was leading and guiding them. Okay. And with that being said, that, one of the things is like around October, November, but with the flow of the Spirit and how things may work, it may be 2020 before you actually come into divine union, but it is coming. That's the thing about when you are being led by the Spirit. You have this underlying knowing, and you can't really put it into words, but you just know. Okay, so what's going on with the divine partners? We're learning about forgiving. Okay, forgiving and learning and forgiving. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So this is talking about being present and showing loving and forgiveness and caring and kindness and compassion in the moment with the people that surround you. Okay? Because that is practice, pretty much. Practice for this type of relationship. To have well-balanced romantic relationships, especially divine partnerships, that you have to go through the processing of learning how to first love yourself and then show that love outwardly towards others, not just in this relationship. So you can use this as an opportunity to build those connections with other individuals. Learn how to deal with other individuals. And when I say deal, it's not just put up. It means communication. Compassion is like a compromise of the lower vibrations of understanding, the lower vibrations of putting, I specifically hear hinges or restraints on other individuals of codependency and of expectations, okay? And so that is what's going on. So this is on the horizon of this engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, okay? So we have compassion and commitment. Okay, so that come is like a coming into oneself. You have to be committed to self-compassion, to receive and give compassion to others. Okay. So let me put this off to the side. I have to go over here and grab this card from off the top because we have communication. So I say communion because it's communion. Literally, when you communicate, you're coming into some type of a communion with another individual, even with yourself. So communion is something that they do in the church where it's like pretty much like a ritual, pretty much like a merging of the energies and commitment, recommitting yourself to the divine spirit, the Christ, whoever it may be. Okay. And look at that. That looks almost like an offering. That looks almost like a communion. So you can Google that word up, what communion means, and how they may go through that actual ritual. So speaking of rituals, I will be doing like a one over on the Patreon membership page using oregano, and how oregano is the spice or the herb, that the divine spirit dropped into my spirit to work with right now during this time of the Sagittarius new moon. So oregano is attached to Jupiter as well as Mercury and Venus, and we're talking about love and communication as well. And with that, I know that it's technically associated with air, but for me, it feels like an earthy type of grit. I keep hearing the word grit. And with that grit, we're like sanding away a lot of the edges of our communication and joining in communion with ourselves, okay? So oregano is also associated with the heart chakra. So we're going to be doing a heart chakra exercise using oregano, and as well using like a meditation. So let me see if the divine spirit has anything else for this Sagittarius new moon. So with this uproar of, I hear information, a battle scar, I also hear, so this could be this uproar or something of some type of old wounding, if you will. So something that was brought up from something from the past. And how do you deal with it? How do you communicate about it? How do you react to it? And it's all for your learning, all for the learning of how to forgive, to give, and to be able to receive as well. So you may have to receive forgiveness, or you may have to give forgiveness, okay? That's one thing. But with this Wheel of Fortune, this is also talking about the promise of fulfilling the promise that was given to you when you first embarked on this journey. So that journey could be, yes, your divine partnership, but it also could be your business. It also could be education. I keep hearing something about education, but we also have about this intelligence, education, knowledge, perception, flexibility. That's on the board as well. And Sagittarius is the sign of divine teachers, about wisdom. So you could be receiving some downloads. You see the Kundalini or the snake coming downward. So something that's coming from up above and coming down. We also have, with Pisces, I know in 2020, they're receiving some activations, in a lot of psychic intel that's coming through. So maybe check where your Pisces, or if you have any Pisces in your chart, maybe that is going to spark something right now. Give me a second. All right, so I believe that is it for this new moon reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So if you do have a spiritual business and you want to learn how to start and run your spiritual business, actually all while using your smartphone, that link is down below. If you're interested in joining the Patreon membership, that link is also down below. Free monthly readings. I'm adding on some new benefits over there, as well as the other ascendant information that I offer over there and the community that we're building. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. For those that have given the 613 Higher Wisdom, Higher Knowledge, Energetic Exchange, also known as a donation, thank you. That link is down below. Personal services also listed down below. Give this video a thumbs up, as well as leave a comment of some of the things that you want to manifest this new moon in Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius mean to you? Where does Sagittarius fall in your chart? If you want to share that, that's perfectly fine. If you haven't as of yet, please subscribe and join the community over here by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so you can receive notifications when we go live and post new information. Check out the blog at www.fd1111ministries.org. and the podcast and all of that good stuff. So for those that are part of the Patreon membership, I'll check you later on part 2. Peace.